Are you wondering why you don't have very many ancestry through lines for yourself? Great. We're talking about that next. Howdy, I'm Devin Noel Lee with Family History Fanatics, where we help you learn to understand DNA, climb your family tree, and write the stories about your ancestors along the way. So, we love viewer questions. We love viewer comments. And I like this comment from Peter. Basically, I don't get many through lines. Why is this? Well, Peter, I'm so glad you asked. Let's dive in. There's a number of reasons why you might not have your through lines taking place. Now, some of these reasons were actually covered in a previous video, but we'll go over them again. And other of them, well, just stay tuned. So why do you have no through lines? Well, the first thing is you have to have taken a DNA test with Ancestry DNA, and you need to link your results to a member tree that you've built, and that tree must be either public or private, shareable or searchable. The terms are used interchangeably. When you have done that, the next thing that needs to happen is that your DNA matches need to do the same thing. If they have not taken their DNA test and linked it to a tree that is public or private but searchable, well, then you might not have any through line matches. Now, let's say that you meet those two criteria. What's the next thing? Well, Ancestry recommends that you have at least 3 to 4 generations in that tree, both you and the people that you match. Well, who does that leave out very quickly? Anybody who's adopted or doesn't really know up to the 3rd and 4th generation who their relatives are. Now, don't despair. Things could help you out, but if you're finding no success in your through lines, this could be one of the reasons. Well, let's say you do have 3 to 4 generations. You have lots of generations. Well, the next thing needs to happen is those generations need to have something more than just KT. K for the first name, T for the surname. That's not going to work. We need identifying information. We need a full first name, as much as you know, and a last name, as much as you know, and no extra crazy characters. Don't put infant, don't put died young, don't put all of that extra stuff in the name fields. Keep them as free of the clutter as possible. If you want to use those extra bits of information, use the suffix field. Additionally, you need a year someone was born and a place they were born, or a year they died and a place they died. Because how can you differentiate between Paul Smith, dentist, born in 1920, versus Paul Smith, engineer, born in Alabama in 1856, if you don't put that information in? So you need to have some of this information in both your tree and the trees that you matched genetically. Let's say all of that works and you still don't have very many through lines. What is going on? Well, in my case, I have a great-grandmother, Clementine Comfort. She's right here. This is Clementine. And when I climb the Comfort family tree, I can go up to my 3rd great-grandfather, Ithamar Comfort. I had to learn how to say that when I went to Canada. Ithamar Comfort. And notice that I have these relatives who have taken a DNA test. They have their tree online. It is public or private searchable, and we have enough information that we can compare each other. So we're good to go. So I'm going to go to Clementine Comfort, and I'm actually going to go up here to her mother, Miramar. I'm going to click on her name, click on through lines, and go view the through lines. And when I get down here, I see myself and my brother, my father, my grandmother, Clementine, and then I have Mira, and there's nobody. Okay, well, what if I go back to through lines and I go to Myra's dad or mom? Ancestry just released some new filters where I can filter to my maternal or paternal ancestors. That's kind of cool. So Myra is Ep, my paternal ancestor. There she, my father's great grandmother. So I'm going to go look for her father, John Marr. And notice lacking people. Why am I not picking anybody up? And if I keep going back generation after generation to the 4th great-grandfather and the 5th great-grandfather, there's no more DNA matches. Why is that? Well, there's one of several reasons. One, I could have a small family plague. So the small family plague is my brother and I descend from an only child, and his parents were one of just a couple, and their parents were one of just a couple. And the more you have these small families producing small families, the less pool you have of somebody to take a DNA test. So you could have in this Marr line, small family, small family, small family, some lines die out, but it basically, I don't have enough people that are able to even test because I just have that small family. It's entirely possible that some of those lines have no living descendants. It happens. You could be the last surviving branch of the Marrs. And that's why there's no DNA match through lines for you. It's also possible that there are living descendants, but none of them have taken a test. Again, it kind of goes to that small family plague, but even if you have a large family, if no living descendants have taken DNA tests, then the through lines aren't going to kick in. It's also possible that your living descendants who have taken a DNA test haven't taken a test with Ancestry. They're on MyHeritage or 23andMe. You cannot migrate that information into Ancestry. They don't allow that. So you're not going to have through lines from somebody who tested over at MyHeritage or Living DNA and the like. And again, going back to what we said at the beginning, if you do have a living descendant who took a DNA test with Ancestry DNA, if they haven't linked their DNA to the tree and followed those criteria we said at the beginning, then your chances of having DNA through lines, especially up that line, decrease. But there's some other reasons too. Are you ready for them? Your tree could have some mistakes. Now, they could be intentional and unintentional or completely like, oh, no. So your mistakes you type something in wrong. You have extra information in there that shouldn't be there. And so the comparison can't take place. It's possible that you have a mistake because somebody in your family was actually adopted, and so you have the adopted line in your tree. Or there was an illegitimacy, and there's a hidden secret that's taken place that you don't know. And that could be why you have a lack of through lines up the lines that you were hoping to research. And it's also possible that the DNA matches that you have who've built their tree and followed all the criteria we talked about before, either they've made mistakes and aren't aware, or they have mistakes and they're the hidden family secrets that they haven't uncovered yet. Their tree has mistakes, and so they can't match up to yours. Because again, this is a genealogical tree based on DNA, but once we start going up the generations, that's the genealogy. There you have it. Those are some of the reasons why you might not have any through lines. Do you know if that is the case based on some of the things we've talked about? Let's have a discussion of some of the other reasons why people might not be having through lines appear on the Ancestry website. I'm Devin Noel Lee, and this is Family History Fanatics. Be sure to check out other videos that we have about DNA as well as genealogy, and we'll see you next time.